This NXT Go Home show was really, really good. The NXT show started off with Tatum and the Cullen, and the crowd was welcoming Tatum by saying, and Tatum was talking to the crowd and ultimately saying how she's happy, how she won this title match against JC at Hall and We Have It. And she was thanking the fans for sticking by her side the whole ride. But then that's when Fatal Influence shows up, and JC ultimately saying to Tatum that she doesn't stand a chance in Satan's playground with her and calls her a creepy weirdo. And then that's when a brawl happens. Then later in the match, a tag match was booked for the main event. Then next was this backstage segment with Stax and Ariana, a real life couple, by the way, in real life. And Stax, in a romantic way, was asking Ariana to be ringside during his match. Then Javon and Leon, they were disgusted backstage, and Leon was trying to tell Javon they need to have some opponents to face before they can tag together. And then Javon ultimately saying he needs to focus up on his match with the X Division title against Stax. And then afterwards, we could talk about who we're going to go against. Then the match happened, Leon versus Stax. It was a very fun match, and very cool stuff happened, like Javon catching Ariana, Javon calling off them going to commercial break. That was pretty fun. Ultimately, Leon won the match. And then ultimately after the match, Leon and Javon, they were wondering like who's going to challenge them. But then that's where Mr. Iguana and La Parka showed up and challenged them to a match at Hall and We Have It. The next was the male speed tournament match with Zachary Wentz and Jasper Troy. And then ultimately with the match, Zach had some offense, but then just got sucked into the black hole slam by Jasper Troy, and Jasper ultimately picks up the dub. The next was Sol Ruka's announcement that she was injured, but then that's when Blake Monroe came out, teased Sol about how she's soft and now she got to relinquish the championship, and ultimately saying Ava just handed the championship over to her. But that's when Zarya steps in and ultimately said how she can defend the belt for Sol against Monroe at Halloween Havoc, and then Ava made it official. The third match of the night was actually the second match of the speed tournament with Axiom versus Shawn Legacy. The key moments for me was ultimately it was that dope spot when Legacy was going for a 450 and then Axiom counter into a Rings of Saturn. That was pretty cool. And then it was also down to the last 10 seconds and Axiom hit the Spanish Fly to advance. So now next week is Axiom versus Jasper Troy. Then it was a tag match with Hank and Tank and OTM. Really nothing to talk about. Nothing really special about it. Just pretty much OTM dominated the match and won. Then it was the match with the Cullen and Fatal Influence. Bro, it seemed like someone just dropped the bottle of that Cholula Green, man. And the whole match was fire. But then JC picked up the dub with the rolling encore. That was the best rolling encore she's done. The next was the contract signing with Ricky and Trick. This whole contract signing was one of my favorites. They both was dropping baby diaper nukes, bro. I mean, Trick saying he's the main event and how he's the man of NXT. And then Ricky, I kid you not, as soon as Trick said that, it seemed like he just sniffed the line of adrenaline cocaine. And then Trick says and go on about joking and saying he ain't indie material, he's Hollywood. Then this when that cocaine kicked in. The adrenaline cocaine, might I add. Because he just put alcohol to an open fire and just exploded on Trick. I kid you not. He was just going off on Trick. Veins coming out, standing up, yelling. He already said he was an emotional man. And then they came face to face. And then that's when Trick sucker punched Ricky. And Ricky putting Trick through the table and standing tall against Rick. But as always, thank you all for watching. And remember, the story never ends. So I'll see you in the next chapter.